Moving on with the plugs.
Get your comics, get your So Relax on in the SAS side.
You can buy the comics, and then you can go to So Relax and read the comics with your feet while they jerk you off.
Grown-up, human, comic, people! Grown-up, human, comic, people!
Yeah, this is episode 23, volume 2 of Grown-up Human Comic People. Welcome to the show. Let's introduce everyone who is sitting here. Actually, let's give another little toast to kick off this episode. Clinky, gentlemen. Also, pro tip: whenever you clink with a glass like this, you want to clink with the bottom of the glass because it's thicker.
But I don't give a shit.
I'm just saying, you don't want to chip the top of your glass. You know.
I know. I do care about this glass.
Yeah. Anywho,
Got my name on it.
Yeah, these are sweet glasses.
Yeah.
And as we discussed earlier, whenever our glasses are put back on the shelf, each member disappears. Like, in order to activate each member, you just take the glass off the shelf and put it on the table, and that person is summoned.
They reappear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So let's just go around the table. Dan, say hi.
Hello.
We got J-Man.
Hey.
Greg.
That's me.
I'm Jared. We're the humans. Welcome to the show. Shout out to all the humans who aren't here right now, which is literally billions of people.
Yes.
Yeah, that aren't in this room right now with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're out there, good job.
We miss you.
Yeah, we miss you. You can find us at grownuphumans.com, at epicastnetwork.com/grownuphumans, iTunes, Google Music, Stitcher, Libsyn, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud at Grown Up Human Comic People, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram at Grown Up Humans. Dan, tell them the address of the store and everything.
1931 East Carson Street is the home of Southside Comics. All the books we talk about and any more that you want to dip your toes into, or your hands, or whichever way you go into water, I don't care. You can get them at the store, or you can get them online. SouthsideComicsPGH.com. You can get pretty much anything that's in print online. The store has a lot of stuff to offer too, so come by, see me, say hi.
And you can come in and read the comic books with your toes once you buy them.
Yeah, I mean, there's chairs.
Yeah, there's chairs, so you could really lean back and just use your feet.
You got to buy them if you're going to read with your feet.
Well, yeah, that's why I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you may not read with your feet until you buy the book.
You can read. You can like skim a book with your hands.
You can really. Yeah,
there's some places in the city. I will not name them. They have a no reading policy.
Yeah,
which I think is bullshit because, like, if you're new, how are you supposed to know you want to read it? Like, if you can open it up and look at it, it's going to give you a better understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you may come in and read it with your hands. If you want to read with your feet, you got to pay. Yeah. But hands, free of charge.
Usually when people want to do feet stuff, they have to pay.
Yeah. Well, you can go over to...
So Relax Massage.
So Relax Massage.
Chinese So Relax.
Yeah, Chinese So Relax. It is the grand opening. That's a real place. At all times.
It's always a grand opening.
It's called So Relax Massage.
It's called Chinese So Relax Massage.
That's because God,
you are so relaxed. Just, Greg, would you like to be so relaxed? Come on down. It's the grand opening every day of the year.
This place has been there for years. It's always a grand opening.
Oh, man.
Anyway, moving on with the plugs.
Get your comics, get your So Relax on in the SAS side.
You can buy the comics, and then you can go to So Relax and read the comics with your feet while they jerk you off.
I was going to say, I bet you could pay them extra money to read the comic to you, but you could pay them extra mony.
Yeah. That I would pay for, actually.
Which one?
Jerk you off while you read comic books with your feet?
Even just to have them read me the comic.
Like the way you said that was like, I would definitely pay to have them jerk me off while I read my feet, but I would also pay if they just read it for me.
And you would leave so relaxed.
So relaxed.
So relaxed.
Hashtag so relaxed. Upon that.
I love the South Side.
Okay, anyway, so other plugs, go to radicaltrivia.com if you want to come out to some live trivia events around Pittsburgh. Radicaltrivia.com has all the locations, all the people who host the various shows. We have some host profiles on there. You can get in contact with us. There's pictures. It's got everything you could possibly want. There is a hint almost every time. Sometimes I forget to put one up there, but usually there's a hint for each show. So if you're going to go to a show and you want to have a little bit of an upper hand, you can check out the little Twitter feed, and it'll be right there. A little hint for you. Midnight Rose, who wants to do it? J-Man, you want to do this one?
Yep. Midnight Rose. Midnight with a K. Rose. That's pretty much all you need to know. New album coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And also go to metamesh.org. Donate to Metamesh. They're bringing free wireless or free Wi-Fi to neighborhoods around the city that don't have it, and it's pretty cool. They bring fast Wi-Fi. I think their Wi-Fi is faster than mine is in my house, which is bullshit, but what's nice for people who get it. Check out metamesh.org. I always forget to say, check out all the other Epicast podcasts too. There's some cool ones out there. We're pretty good friends with the Drinking Partners. Shout out to Ed Bailey, who just is I think he's actually going to. I think they're doing one today. I think he's doing his first one back today after his accident. So shout out to Ed and today. Those guys are funny as fuck.
They're great.
We went to a nice little benefit for Ed's families from his medical bills last night, and it was a great event. There was a bunch of people there. Shout out to everybody who donated their time or their products to that.
Did anybody donate enough to get a mold? Of
No,
Chris's?
I forgot to tell you guys this. If you've been listening to the show, you've heard this. I went up to Ed and I said, "Hey man, so what we were doing was we were gonna send you a mold of our friend Chris's penis, along with $150." And he just looked at me like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" So I had to explain the whole thing, and I think he was still very confused.
No, we tried.
Yeah, we tried. You can still do that. We can still do that.
It's on the table.
You can always. Yeah, it's on the table.
We will speak for Chris.
Yeah, we can speak. Yeah, we can still send that mold of Chris's penis to Ed Bailey. So
He still has his penis.
yeah. So if you want to drop $150, just hit us up on Facebook or
Ban.
whatever, and we'll make it happen. And we'll pictures and everything
Of the mold.
of the mold,
Not Chris.
not Chris's penis.
We'll get banned from the internet.
Yeah, we don't want to get banned from the internet.
The mold probably falls on
We could put it on our own Reddit page. Chris's penis. We could do that.
Do we have a Reddit page?
Yeah, we have a Reddit page.
Who manages that?
I think Chris does.
Might already have a bunch of pictures of his dick.
Yeah, it might already be
up there.
It's there.
It's mostly already pictures of Chris's dick, so I know it's going to be okay. Yeah.
One more thing. We forgot to do this last episode. Best of the Berg 2017, Pittsburgh Magazine.
Yes.
Head over there.
Yes.
Vote for, grown-up human comic people.
best
Write it
podcast.
in. Best podcast. Best comic book store is a category. Southside Comics.
Best
Best
live
trivia.
night. Radical trivia.
Radical Trivia.
These are all the things you should vote for. Best local band.
Midnight Rose. Yeah. Yeah. Help
Best-
us.
I don't know. Make something up for MetaMesh. I don't know what
Yeah.
that would be, but make something up. Put it in there.
Is there a nonprofit? Because they're a nonprofit.
Sure, that's probably a nonprofit.
Probably a nonprofit.
If there
MetaMesh.
isn't, write it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are all the things you should vote for.
Support. Support us. Get the word out.
Yeah.
Every little bit helps. It's not a financial thing. It's just a time thing.
Yeah. And
Cast your
also,
votes.
if the Pittsburgh Magazine people are listening, fix your website because the little verification thing at the bottom when I tried to vote was not functional. So
Yeah, I had to try it 3 or 4 times on my phone, and it finally went through. But I agree. Fix it.
That was annoying. Hopefully, we didn't lose any votes on that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I say vote for each of those things because, how many people do you, the listener, know that actually strive to make life better all around?
I agree with that, Greg. That's a really good way of putting that.
Yeah.
Every one of those things that Dan just named. We're all doing the positive.
Trying
to bring more stuff to you.
Bring the goods to you. Make
Producing
you feel
things.
good, make you have fun.
Yeah,
That's what we're doing this for.
yeah. You're. Oh, we also speaking of trying to brighten up people's days, we are very soon going to record a full length version of the theme song. So listen for that.
Yeah.
And if I can find the right people, we can maybe even do a music video or something. It'd be fun. So keep an ear out for that. It'll be fun. All right, let's go to Dan. You got a Chris list for us?
Yeah. So
Segment number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did we do a Chris list?
We did not.
We didn't do that.
Nah, yeah, I think we were just like meandering around some like theme stuff, but you thought you might just say the Chris list.
Oh yeah. So I was doing it right now. Then.
Yeah.
All right. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
The Chris list. Okay, go ahead.
Here we are. Yeah. So I have two Chris lists. I'm just going to do one today because I started to think about top 5 comic books, and I was really struggling because to me there's two types of comic books. There are the capes, the superheroes, the stuff that everybody associates comic books with, and then there is the
Porn.
No. There's like the creator owned stuff that is any type of genre.
Yeah.
It might be a one shot, it might be 6 issues, it might be 12, it might be 50, whatever. So I have 2 lists. The first list I'm gonna do today, and I'll save the other one for another day, is the superhero list. My top 5 comic book runs that I have read. And considering I am a child of the 80s, not the 70s, there's really nothing from the 70s on this list. So, you can say that I am not in touch with what's great, but whatever. This is what I liked growing up or as an adult now. So number 5, one of the first things I read getting back into comics was Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run. He brought back Hal Jordan. He introduced all the different color spectrums. He created this space opera amongst the Green Lantern Corps. He established, the strength of the Green Lantern Corps as the police of the universe.
When did that come out?
Mid 2000s, okay. 2006.
Is this like
7, 8 maybe?
Pre-Blackest Night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but Blackest Night is part of him. It started with Green Lantern Reborn or Rebirth. I forget which, because there's so many reborns and rebirths at this point. But that was really, really cool because I like space stuff and I like a saga. It was very neat. In the different colors of the emotional spectrum and the rings, it just created this like Star Trek like struggle of powers in the universe, which was very cool. So that's number 5 for me. And an honorable mention, like everything he did after that, because Jeff Johns, he did Flash Rebirth, he did a Justice League series, he did an Aquaman series, like he did all these. He pretty much like went into every of the Justice League characters and tried to do something positive, and most of them were really good. So, and now he is working in the movies. He's the overseer.
Yeah.
So we'll see if I think Wonder Woman is the first movie that he had more of a role in.
I was going to say that's it hopefully should be the one that's like not in the same vein as the other ones.
Right.
He's fully in charge right now.
Yeah, the other ones he was just kind of a guy that was part of the process. With Wonder Woman, he like mid-production he was promoted to that position of sort of general overseer of the movie. So hopefully going forward with his ability to write great comics and great stories, he's able to scale that down and pass that on to the movies, kind of like Kevin Feige does,
right?
With the Marvels, because he keeps those Marvel movies.
He's just perfect moves every time. Not every time, most times.
Solid.
So
number 4, Mark Millar, Old Man Logan.
Yeah,
just
solid call.
Solid.
We just gave one of those away at the benefit last night.
Yeah, like every time I think about what I really enjoyed reading, that was one of those stories that every part of it I was like, wow, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
Like just this horrible outlook on the future. Wolverine does something terrible. This great use of villains, Mysterio, Red Skull, Magneto, like all these villains that we've known forever, that they got together and they fucking won.
Yeah.
And the result is chaos. And it's great. The Hulk goes crazy, has inbred children with the She-Hulk. They're fucking terrible. They kill his family. He loses his mind. Like, it's so good. Blind Hawkeye, like.
Can you blame the Hulk for banging She-Hulk? I mean, if you're the Hulk host, you bang.
Who else can take it?
Right.
Yeah,
Who else can take it?
That's exactly right.
And it's kind of what they were implying. Like, it's just, I love that story, start to finish. And Steve McNiven, his art is fantastic. You know, he draws an awesome old Logan, awesome Hulks. That's a great series. It has so much rereadability.
I would say that who took over as the artist for the Secret War and the new run, because I really like the art.
Andrea Sorrentino.
Yeah, his art is really cool.
His art is
just
super
fucking
unique,
awesome. Yeah,
and I don't know how he gets it out on a monthly basis.
I don't know. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it really is.
So
really is.
Number 3,
Scott Snyder's Batman. 52 issues. Partnered for the most of the run with Greg Capullo. Fantastic art, fantastic storytelling. Introduced the Court of Owls. You know, did some great Joker stuff.
Introduced Duke Thomas.
Duke Thomas had the 0 year where the Riddler ruled over Gotham. Scott Snyder has a really his strength with Batman is he gets inside Bruce's head and he tells a really good story.
Yeah,
and I that was one of those things that this is before I owned the shop. Every time that book came out, it was the first book I read on Wednesday because I just wanted to know what happened next.
Yeah,
and you know the art, Capullo's Batman is great.
Yeah, I feel like there's 2 good ways to tell a Batman story. There's if Batman is the focus, then you have to go into Batman's head. If Batman is not the focus, the other type of story is a like where he's only on the corners of the story, and like it's a story about something else.
Yes,
but he just kind of is this like force of nature where he's gonna win. There's no question about that. It's just like the story within whatever is also happening at the time. And I think Paul Dini is the master of that.
Oh yeah, Paul
doing
Dini. Paul Dini is the king.
Yeah, the king of Batman.
Snyder's the prince.
All right, let's move along to number 2.
Number 2 is Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four / Avengers run. It was started in Fantastic Four 575, ran to the conclusion of the series with the FF series, and ran into Avengers and New Avengers. And it was just this long, poetic story about Reed Richards, the multiverse, the Celestials, Franklin, you know, the son, Doctor Doom, his role in the world, you know. And when it got to the Avengers, it was you know, how Tony and Steve would clash on ideals and how to deal with, you know, really terrifying threats. It was just this story that was really well crafted. You know, it was a lot of issues, and all the threads came together at the end, and it was very, very impressive. You know, it was tough for people, you know, who like wanted to read Fantastic Four because you had to go way back to the beginning of his run, or you know, Avengers at that point. But if you were in for the long haul, it was a really satisfying run. Really good stuff.
Okay.
And then number 1, Chris Claremont X-Men.
Okay.
Just the best.
Yeah.
What can you like? He created so many characters. He did so much for the franchise. He, you know, like they were corny before then.
Oh
you know,
yeah,
like John Byrne did some good stuff, but you know, they were generally corny.
He created so many characters,
and he made Magneto so cool.
Yeah,
and he did so much with Wolverine. Like it just a decade plus of excellent X-Men storytelling, and you know, like we were talking about this the other day, Jared. He would drop something like a subplot in one issue and not come back to it for 20 issues.
Yeah.
But when he did, it made sense.
Yeah. The
guy had just this giant brain where everything in, you know, the comics eventually came to fruition. I loved all of it.
He had a vision for the whole thing, like a really detailed, overarching vision.
And that vision just has created so much after the fact. I mean, the movies, the cartoon series in the 90s, you know, like we owe so much to his vision of the X-Men, and that's pretty much what I grew up on.
Oh yeah,
when I was a kid. Also,
the I'm not sure if we've said this on the podcast before, but the X-Men '92 theme song, the classic one, was written by the same person who also gave us the theme song to Power Rangers. Ron Wasserman, if you're listening.
Thank you, Ron.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, we all thank you very much because you're a fucking genius.
That's my superhero Chris list.
Okay, Chris, there's your list for today.
Yeah, thank you.
That's your horoscope for today.
Thank you for making me reflect, Chris, on the many comic books that I've read in my life.
So we're going to get to the first book, Fissure. I'm sorry, I can't think of it not being a butt problem.
Yeah, an anal fissure.
Yeah, Fissure, yeah.
I have to thank Vault Comics
Yes.
and Damien Wassel.
Wassel, yeah.
Yeah. I
Wassel.
couldn't get my hands on this book from Diamond. I had some requests for it. And he sent me a bunch of copies. He sent the podcast free copies. So thank you.
Yeah.
You know, that's a classy move. You know, and I'm sure it's very difficult to be a new publisher in today's competitive market. So that was a very nice thing to do.
Yes.
We are reading. We are reviewing this book. You know, on their dime. So thank you.
Yeah. It's, let's see here. Okay, the credits. So script and design by Tim Daniel, covers art and colors by Patricio Del Peche, and Duran Bennett is the letterer. It's called Fissure. It is from Vault. We come into this comic book. Looks like it maybe is it New Mexico or
What's
do they say
on the opening pages? There's like a quote. Might be on the cover page.
The quote's
it's
really cool.
So it's right
sounding.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says, for those who recognize our differences but do not see walls, para los que reconocen nuestras diferencias para no ver las paredes. I'm not good at Spanish.
I was about to say, what? Why did you even just try to read that? You read Spanish?
I don't.
Okay.
But that's, I mean,
All right.
it wasn't that bad for not.
Yeah, sure. Good job. Good job. Yeah.
If you speak Spanish, I'm sorry.
But you did a good job with the R's.
Yeah.
I was trying to channel the narrator for Jane the Virgin. Okay, here we go.
Do you watch that show?
When we left, Jane was
Is it any good?
Yeah, it's a very like tongue in cheek telenovela style show.
Okay.
It's funny. It is funny. Like I like a lot of the characters. The main character, she's really good at being annoying, and like the writing is like she's definitely supposed to be annoying, and she's great at playing that character. Sometimes you want to punch her in the face, but she's real. All the actors are very good at doing what their job is, which is yeah. It's fun. It's fun to watch. It's like, you know, if you have something else, you know, you're doing something else, or you're, you know, whatever, cleaning the house. It's fun to like kind of listen, whatever, casually watch it. Anyway, so this book starts off kind of in the desert, presumably near the border, because you've got some guy kind of scoping out this situation where I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a coyote or what, but there's a guy in a big just douchey truck with a bunch of lights on it with an assault rifle.
The trucks that populate this area ever since drilling became a thing.
Yeah. And so there's some looks like illegals coming out out of a tunnel from behind an old refrigerator, and this guy, I'm not sure if is he actually shooting them.
I thought
it's not really clear.
It was not clear. The illustrations, the art's not bad, but the frame to frame like storytelling is not clear.
Yeah, it's a little confusing.
At least in the start, it gets better as the book goes on.
Yeah, so a fissure opens up underneath all this whole situation. This big green crack in the earth, and it looks like there's even like some weird tentacle that comes out of it that grabs one of the guys, and it swallows everything, and then it just closes back up, and it's like nothing happened. There's just some green smoke left, and it's actually on this page. You see that there's a wall. I'm assuming this is the border wall that everyone's been talking about, because I guess it's supposed to be a little bit in the future. And then we get to
DJT's wall.
Yep. And then we get to this town called, what's the town called? I forget. Anyway, there's a town. They introduce a couple characters. There's a little bit of drama between this guy and this woman that apparently is carrying his child, and his dad and her abuela, her grandmother. pretty much just like drama things, and then another fissure opens up, and everyone's told to go home, and then later on, it looks like at night, maybe the same night or a little later, the fissure opens up again, and these people just kind of start to.
That's where it gets weird.
Yeah, it gets really weird. They start to see what looks like family members that have been deceased, maybe some ghosts, and the ghosts are calling them towards the fissure, and they are just walking into the fissure, and that's the end of it. And it's it's very, it's a cool idea. I'm interested to see what happens next.
I agree. The idea is cool.
I wish the my only criticisms are some of the action scenes. It's not entirely clear what's happening.
Right. Yeah. The action scenes are the downfall.
I think it's color. It might be a coloring issue.
Color too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that green fissure-y type thing is obviously
that green fissure type thing
is obviously important. But I wanted to see when the fissure was around them. And the green was supposed to, be a prominent part of the panel. All the other colors drawn or colored more richly, so they popped. So it was a total contrast of, like this, like really like faded green that's like sort of sprawling everywhere. But then everything else was, like very obvious that it was trying to fight off the fissure. But like you could like just show that contrast in the panel.
Yeah,
because otherwise it just kind of looks like this like blurry monotony type page, and I didn't like that. It was hard on the eyes.
I was thinking there's that cover of Saga, the error cover, where it's like black and green mostly.
Yeah,
I was thinking that's a great contrast, and that would really work in this setting where if it's trying to portray like a nighttime kind of scene, and
everything else popped.
Everything else pops, yeah. Like so, you got like very stark like blacks and whites, and then you've got this like brilliant green. I think that would be a little bit better for this, just so we can know more what was going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That was
the cover was corny as fuck too.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, that's why
it doesn't give you anything.
I didn't initially jump on it.
Yeah.
Ordering it. Covers are so important because when you go through like when you're ordering books for your store, you go through the previews book, and everyone has seen how big it is.
Oh yeah, it's massive.
Yeah, it's like 2 inches thick. The cover is what you base things on.
Can we just for a second talk about how the previews book should probably just have like descriptions of number ones in it, and not like this month number 12's coming out, and this is what happens, and if you haven't read the one before it, it's ruined. Yeah,
it should just be a list.
Just give me a list.
Yeah, a list of like additional books, because you're right. Like the ones are what you want to sell people on. Like Saga 24, like the numbers aren't going to really change.
No.
The people are going to order Saga are going to order Saga. It doesn't really matter what the fuck you say.
Yeah. But like who's going into the previews book and saying like, "Oh man, I haven't been reading Saga, but the description of this issue sounds pretty good. I might have to like get back into that, or just
me up."
Yeah, order this one issue. Like, no, fuck you. No one's doing that. Stop spoiling middle issues. Or like the middle of a run, because I don't know why you would do that. Like just put the fucking list in there. If you got a bunch of number ones, put them in the front.
Or maybe like the list with like in your computer, like the folders, like a small picture and of the cover in the list. Like you got to show the cover.
Sure.
I don't need a description of like ongoing series, new series. Give me a good pitch. Give me a full page of a cover. That's cool. But I mean, like from what I understand, the previous book, like you pay for your placement.
I'm sure you do,
which sucks
because
really
sucks.
It should just be alphabetical by publisher. Everything they're doing in a list with like additional space given to new series, because the book would shrink so much. It would be so easier to navigate.
Well, we know that Diamond, in many ways, doesn't give a fuck about the actual like. Anything beyond them selling their books to the seller. Like they don't give a fuck about how easy it is for the retailer. They don't give a fuck about whether or not their ship's damaged when it comes. Like they don't give any fucks at all. Like they fucking
Mr. Monopoly.
Yeah, they sell bags and boards, but whenever they send you a variant cover or something like that, something that's probably presumably like maybe worth a lot of money, they package it the same. They just throw it in a fucking box with the rest of the books, and it's like I don't know that they pack it like kind of tight or like whatever.
No, they don't do anything.
They don't do it. They just throw it right the fuck in there.
Sometimes, if it's a 1 in 50 or 1 in 100, at the request of the publisher, they will pack it. Where they will put it in a bag and board. But usually, the bag and board is too big, so it fucking moves around on the bag and board. And if it shifts beyond the board, so the board, it's hanging over the edge of the board in the bag, it's going to arrive damaged anyways. Like, it is the worst fucking thing in the world because. Like, if you, let's say, like, you come in the store and you say, I want that 1 in 50 variant. And you pay X for it, X plus cover price.
Yeah.
You earned yourself a good copy.
I'm expecting a 9.8, 6.
You want, something in the 9s.
Yeah. It better be above 9.2 at least.
Yeah. Like, otherwise you're going to be a little upset.
Yeah.
And I don't blame you because you paid additional cost. I have to order that many of the regular books. And if it doesn't come, like if your variant doesn't come looking good, like I have to tell them they need to send me another one.
Yeah.
Wait to see if it arrives in good shape. Hope that it meets your standards. Like it's the worst fucking process in the world.
Yeah.
If they would just ship those variants differently in the T shippers, they would never arrive damaged.
Oh yeah. I mean they would save themselves so much more money and they clearly like just don't. They don't care.
They don't give a shit.
They don't care. So, Diamond, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Fix up your preview book. Ship your shit right. You're not going to do it. So, you know what? I'm going to say fuck them. Fuck them.
Oh, yeah. Fuck them. I need them.
I know. But
like,
I mean, you don't have to. But I mean,
do it better.
It's not like they're not going to sell to you.
Right.
We're not.
And their job is not easy, but they could do a better job.
They could do a way better job. They're not doing shit for you. They're just doing kind of their job.
And if you look up like top earning, companies in the country, they're up there.
Well, yeah,
they make a lot of money.
Yeah. Anyway, fuck Diamond. Get your fucking shit together.
So, Fissure, what'd you read?
I'm going first. I don't know. May I'll probably read the second one just to see where it goes. I'm interested to know what the dead people in the smoke are.
Yeah.
It's all very kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one, ish.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah. You?
I think I'll read one more and see if it gets me. The problems aside.
I want to like it because they were really nice about it. And
they were very nice about it. The concept is a good idea.
Yeah.
It is obviously being political, but it wasn't grossly political.
Right.
So I will try more.
Right. J-Man?
I'm not sure. Yes, I think so.
Okay.
It wasn't bad. Like, they didn't give you a lot in that first one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure where it's going to go.
Yeah. Part of me liked that they used a lot of Spanish, and part of me was like,
part of me also like at the beginning I was like, are they going to keep doing this?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not complaining about Spanish. It's like I can appreciate what they're doing, and like we have a lot of Spanish speaking people in the country. I don't speak Spanish, so it was like kind of a slog.
I mean, I'm sorry, but this is this is America. So if you come here, like if I move to Spain, I'm not going to walk around like, what's with all these people speaking Spanish? This is bullshit. Don't speak my language because it's not my country. So
yeah, that's fair. But I think it fit the book because it's near the border. It makes sense that they're speaking Spanish. But, and I'm assuming like there was nothing that was extremely key in the Spanish portions that I was missing.
I hope not. I mean, they
wasn't.
spoke a significant amount of Spanish at times.
Yeah. It's the whole beginning, I think, was in Spanish.
Yeah, and they never tried to translate it either.
Yeah, which is whatever. I don't know. I get it, but it's still kind of like maybe because sometimes some books will say like there'll be like little brackets and it'll say
speaking whatever,
speaking in this language.
Yeah.
It's like you could have just like said Spanish. I guess that might be kind of offensive to people who do speak Spanish, but I don't know. The translation rough.
The whole rest of the book is in English. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it would have been kind of nice to know what they were saying.
Yeah.
But whatever. That's just probably me being American. Greg, how do you feel?
Sure, why not?
Okay. All right. Well, we're finished with Fissure. We're gonna go into whatchyinzdoin. We got that tag. We wrote that pretty fast. Go ahead and
we poured over it. We took a long time. We wanted to get it perfect. We wanted people to really appreciate.
We hope you guys really like it. Here it is. Here's the new tag for whatchyinzdoin.
We totally didn't do it in 1 minute.
No.
Yo, whatchyinzdoin?
Whatchyinzdoin?
Yo,
whatchyinzdoin?
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 For whatchyinzdoin, I think we all agree. We all started at least somewhat watching Iron Fist.
Yeah.
So, initial reactions, J-Man, what did you think?
It's not as bad as everybody said it was.
Yeah,
Agree.
Getting hammered, man.
yeah. The people were really, really tearing into it. Some of the things that I agreed with. I've watched the first, I think, 3 episodes. That some of the fight sequences, like this is a show about Iron Fist, who is like the best martial artist in the whole Marvel universe, or one of them anyway. And the fight sequences really aren't that exciting to me.
No, they're not.
They haven't even showed him really. I mean, I've only watched like 4 or 5, but they haven't showed him really even fighting very much. It's mostly been that girl.
Yeah,
He's mostly like he's being portrayed as the ultimate passive fighter. Like he is the least aggressive, really good fighter possible. And it's, I don't know, I think it's a detriment to the show because Daredevil set the bar really high.
for fight sequences, yeah,
Yes.
incredibly high.
And this should be better
Yeah.
because it's Iron Fist. And then you have shows like Into the Badlands on AMC where it's like kung fu and fighting all the time, and it's really good.
That's good. I've heard about that show. I should probably
The,
watch
the
it.
fighting's cool. The story's whatever. I mean, I'm not like super pumped about the show. But the choreography is very well done, and I feel like Iron Fist is could be a little better. I agree, Jerry. It's not as bad as the early reviewers say it is, but there are some things that bother me, but it's also not that terrible. Like I'm into the story. Like I'm into it.
Yeah, I'm interested, and it's also it gets right into some of the threads from the other shows really fast. Like they mentioned the hand in the first episode or the second episode or something like that. So I thought that was cool. Like immediately he says like, I am the Iron Fist. I am the sworn enemy of the hand. Like it's my mission to destroy the hand. And I mean we've heard about the hand. Like Daredevil season 2 was all about the hand. So that was pretty cool that he's like directly in competition or in opposition to something we heard about in a different show. Well, I thought was cool. But I can see where a lot of people are upset because they feel like there's a missed opportunity to really do justice to another culture's, history or just the feeling of another culture. Like, for example, like Daredevil, I shouldn't say culture. Daredevil, the main character is someone who's disabled. Jessica Jones is pretty much about surviving a really traumatic experience, specifically a sexual experience. So a lot of people can probably relate to that. Luke Cage really goes into like the whole Harlem feeling of like jazz and R&B and just black culture a lot. A lot of almost entirely black cast, fucking awesome. And then like Iron Fist in the comic books is a white guy, but this I think I would have, if I was in charge, I would have made it an opportunity to really go into like kind of Asian American culture and then right into Asian culture and how people who are Asian American deal with the kind of divide between like being an American but also being from one of the oldest cultures in the world.
Well, I feel like that could have been better served in like I'm 5 in. I finished 5. I watched the first 5 minutes of 6, but I feel like what you just said could be better served if the flashbacks were more about his experience in Kunlun.
Sure.
And he was immersing himself in their culture.
Right.
So we got a better feeling of what he went through and what he has become. Like, the flashbacks are like BVS style, repetitive, pearls falling on the ground, mom flying out of the plane.
Yeah.
And him sitting on a mountain. They show the same scene in the first 3 episodes. How many fucking times? It's like,
yeah, it's a lot.
I get it. It's a traumatic experience, but you should produce that in a way that you're still advancing what he's doing in that time, and it's still traumatic. It's not until episode 4 where you see him getting beaten by the monks. It's like,
right?
Why didn't you show that right away?
Yeah,
like repeating things over and over is a really easy way to just
lose your audience.
Yeah,
and babying the audience is a good way to lose your audience.
Exactly. Like, Like I typically like watch when I'm like on my computer and doing work stuff, and it got to that point where it was showing that over again, and I just like tuned it out and I was typing away, doing my shit, and I had to actively say like, okay, that's over now, get back into the story.
Yeah,
like I really felt like that was the biggest disservice in terms of bridging that multicultural gap. That like because this is a tough. This is tough in terms of being cultural because it's a white guy.
Yeah,
the source material is a white dude.
The idea is like already offensive.
He's a rich white dude.
Yeah,
that gets like finds himself in this culture, and learns to channel it and use it and becomes their weapon, and he becomes the most important person in their culture, but he's a white dude.
Right.
Like if you think about it like that, it is offensive.
Yeah.
However, you have an opportunity as a storyteller to say that color and culture, kind of like Fissure, what we talked about earlier, there are no boundaries, there are no walls. Like you should be able to bridge something if you have a passion for it.
Right.
And the color of your skin or where you're from shouldn't matter. Like this show has a very good opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
So far, I haven't felt that.
Yeah, I haven't either. And I agree with you. Like if they could make it more as if he's good, he's really important and good at like martial arts because he embraced a different culture, their culture, not because he's like the white savior and because like he's the only, he's like the chosen one, he's the fucking one who's like he's the only guy who's good enough because he's a white American guy. Like that's fucking offensive as shit. But like if he was just willing to fully embrace everything he was being taught by the monks. Then
that was said one time in the show.
Yeah,
that's not enough.
Right. It's we really need to get back into like those flashbacks and show like, and even maybe paint the monks I don't know in like a really positive light, showing maybe just the every day-to-day things that he had to deal with like when he was a kid in Kunlun, like all those sorts of things. There's so many opportunities to do. I don't need to see him up against a green screen that's showing a mountain again. Like, I don't need to see him meditating on the goddamn top of a mountain. Like, that doesn't tell me anything.
One time's okay.
I don't need to see that at all, to be honest with you. Like, that's not interesting in any way. Like, I get it. He's a fucking monk. Okay.
They keep showing that, like, he's so centered and he's, like, so just peaceful. But then he just, like, periodically throughout the show, he just flips out all the time.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He's petulant.
Yeah.
He is a fucking child at times. And it is obnoxious because that is not the proper portrayal of Danny Rand. Danny Rand should be centered, but he should be aloof in the same sense. Yeah. But he shouldn't be childish. He's not that type of person.
He's more of like a Jedi kind of.
Yeah, but he's a Jedi, but he's kind of like I'm gonna like take it how it is type kind of guy.
He's like the dude if he were a Jedi.
Yeah. Great way to put it. Yeah, the dude as a Jedi.
Yeah.
He shouldn't. He's not childish. Like he should not be like whiny about his company and his perceived family and things like that.
Yeah, he really shouldn't give a fuck about his name at all.
No,
like the whole and there is way too much boardroom shit in the first like 4 episodes. Like I don't give a fuck what's happening in a corporate boardroom. Like I stop. I don't want that at all.
That is too much.
It's way too much. Slow as fuck. This should be a martial arts show.
It should be fast paced.
It should be fast paced. Yeah.
I understand trying to lay the groundwork, but 2.5, 3 episodes of I'm Danny Rand. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Fuck. Like let's just move on. Like you could have just told a story. Like I'm Danny Rand. No, I'm not.
Like
okay, here's my DNA. I am. Well, fuck. How do we deal with this?
The mystery isn't whether or not he's Danny Rand. We all know he's Danny Rand.
Right.
Like, the audience knows that. You don't need to convince like 4 side characters that he's Danny Rand. I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
I know who he is. I know he's the Iron Fist. Show me his goddamn glowing fist and have him punch the goddamn metal door down.
Now, when that happened,
that was awesome. That was really awesome.
Glowing fist, fucking like when he goes like full Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Really cool. Fucking awesome. Yeah. But like as far as all this other bullshit, it's almost like they're falling back into this whole like early 2000s like we gotta like tease the like after Batman Begins came out, they're like, because in that movie you don't see Batman for like an hour. It's like, oh, you gotta make him wait for it. You gotta make him wait for the whole thing. It's like, no, dude, just like I don't need you to make me wait for the superhero moments. Like it's a superhero show.
and we know it is.
We know it's him.
And
Like, there's no
we've
mystery.
had how many seasons of other shows in this fucking
the same universe
setting?
Yeah.
Like, we get it. Move along. You know, like I don't need to question whether or not this guy belongs in this world. He does.
Yeah.
So let's move along. Let's do it.
And I'm also kind of like, this is the first time I've been tired of the characters in that universe not getting it. Like, not being like, oh, no, that's impossible. There's no way that happened. It's like, dude, aliens fucking invaded New York.
Yeah.
And destroyed half the city.
The one dude even mentions the incident.
He does.
Right.
So it's like, really? You don't believe?
The same doctor who wasn't believing about the Iron Fist shit.
Yeah.
It's like, no, dude, you live in a world where, like, there's a green rampage monster. There's a fucking guy from the 40s. There's a guy who flies around in a goddamn tin can. There's a Norse god flying around. Like, what is there not to believe anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's ridiculous. Like, that pisses me off. That's like the suspension of I cannot suspend my disbelief on that one.
I'm like tied between that and then Danny Rand's like, he's so naive when he's talking to people about that stuff. It's
Right.
like, okay, don't like. People should be more accepting, but don't be so naive in thinking they should accept. Just show them your glowing fist and move along.
Yeah.
Like, just get to the point. Like, I am the Iron Fist. No, you're not. Smash the table.
Yeah.
See? Okay, let's advance the plot towards the actual story, which is, in my opinion, really engaging. Like, Harold Meacham's character is awesome.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's what's his name?
Faramir.
Yeah, Faramir. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know your
Faramir's
real name,
fucking
dude,
great.
but he's great.
He's awesome.
Like, the whole, like, leading up to the point where the handprint was on his window.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Holy shit. That was great. His intensity is really good.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you know he's tied to the hand is really good. And I don't want to spoil too much for you, but you know where it's going probably based on that moment.
Sure.
You know, like, everything he's involved in is really intriguing.
Yeah.
The hand's involvement is intriguing. Danny's, like, his eventual conflict with them, I want to see. I'm really interested in. But I don't care about, oh, are you Danny Rand? Are you the Iron Fist? What is the Iron Fist? I don't know. But I want to be part of this company. Like, I want to be in the boardroom. Oh, I'm not interested.
Nobody cares about that.
It should have been 20 minutes, 30 minutes of screen time with Lawyer Trinity coming in, fucking throwing down the gauntlet.
Yeah.
He's Danny Rand. Like, get the fuck out of the way, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, and then
maybe she walks in with Foggy.
yes,
That would be great. But I mean, this show needs to learn from specifically Batman, because Danny Rand is a very similar character. He didn't go
Very,
off on his
very.
own to learn how to do this sort of thing, but he's a lost billionaire who comes back after a while. It's like, okay, what happened in Batman Begins? They mention whenever he comes back, he's like, the company's going public. And then they don't fucking mention that till the end of the movie. And Bruce is like, oh, yeah, by the way, I bought the company, you're fired.
yeah,
Like,
that was great. That was great.
Cool. Yeah,
I
yeah,
bought all
yeah.
the shares. I'm majority shareowner. See you later.
Yeah, and that was it. Like, we weren't in the boardroom like having goddamn, Rutger Hauer talking about stocks and who owns what. Like, nobody gives a shit about that at all.
And as it advances, I don't think I'm spoiling anything by saying Danny assumes ownership of the company to you.
Sure. I mean, I know I read the comics.
Right, like, so his like they're portraying him as this bleeding heart. Like one example is, wow, we have this drug, and like, we can make X amount off of it because it's going to cure this disease that's going on. And he comes into the boardroom and he's like, oh, sell it at cost. Mm-hmm. And they're like, what? Sell it at cost. Are you doing that as majority share owner? Yeah. Okay. It's like, why is this important?
Yeah.
We get it. He fucking believes, in a certain. He has a certain way of thinking because he's been enlightened by monks. Like, we don't need to see that play out in a boardroom scene.
Maybe show us the enlightening by the monks, and then we don't actually need to see the boardroom shit at all. Just
Right.
show me the monk stuff.
But that's not the end of it. It, like, there's another like where I am. There's an additional incident of his bleeding heart. It's like, I don't like. This is not why I'm watching this show.
Yeah.
This isn't like This Is Us, right? And I've never watched a episode of it, but I assume it has like a bleeding heart mentality. Like, this is Iron Fist.
Yeah.
He fucking fights the hand.
I want him to see
because
him punching ninjas in the face. That's what I want to see.
That's what I want to see. I don't mind seeing his like personal life involved in it, but it doesn't have to be in a business sense. That's fucking boring.
Yeah.
You know, like I would rather see his personal life, his interpersonal relationships with people. I don't care about him running his company.
Yeah.
He has a bleeding heart. Big deal.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think we've talked about this enough. We're not against this new season, but we're not far enough. I haven't, I've only on the first, I think maybe 4 episodes in. So we'll just stop there.
I am continuing to watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
I just have those little problems.
Yeah. Well, because when you want to like something so much, and like it's just not, it's almost like they don't want you to like it. They're trying to deflect you from liking a thing that you're like already ready to like. That's annoying.
Well, and as Jerr said when we opened this conversation, it's not nearly as bad as what the early review fuckers have said about it.
No, it's not. It's not that bad. No. I'm still interested. I'm still like excited to watch the rest of it.
It's not as good as Daredevil.
Oh, no.
Jessica Jones.
Right.
It's definitely not as good as those, but it's still better than Gotham.
Oh, yeah. It's leaps and
Agents
bounds.
of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know how you feel about that, but it's still way better than that shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, Iron Fist. Don't let us sway you one way or another. Go watch it yourself. Tell us. Come on the Facebook. Tell us what you think about it. Yes, we'd like to hear your opinions about stuff.
Yeah.
And could we go to Blood Blister?
Blood Blister, yeah. Aftershock. Favorites, Aftershock. Written by Phil Hester and pencils by Tony Harris. He's also co-creator, so that makes me think that they co-scripted everything. The inker is Eric Layton. Colorist Guy Major. So this is an interesting book. It felt a little light to me. There weren't like advertisements in it, but it just felt light on the pages. And then there was like a huge preview of Rough Riders Nation or Rough Riders After the Storm in the back.
Yeah, because it only goes to 2 pages after the break, after the staple.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of content. Shout out to Rough Riders, Adam Glass and our boy Patrick Olaf. Yeah. But this story, so the protagonist is a lawyer, and he's basically like one of those lawyers that goes around and screws people.
He's a blood-sucking lawyer.
Yeah,
like in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, like he's not a good person.
He's Robin Williams at the beginning of Hook.
Yes, good call. Wow, that was a good call.
Blow him out of the water, Dad. Peter, you've become a pirate.
So this guy, we see him meeting with this obviously like uneducated family. I guess that's the nicest way I can say it.
Oh man, that family beginning is like. I have to say, there's some visceral shit in this book.
Oh yeah, like when you get to the fucking second page and they talk about their child and you see how like she's drawn.
Oh Jesus!
She like was a premature baby and she had too much oxygen to the brain, so she's basically like brain dead but still alive. Like it is fucking disgusting.
And you can like this is one of those situations where you're like, I'm not sure if that's her vagina or not.
Right? It's like
you see like
there's so many flaps and folds on this portrayal of this person. I don't know what's what.
The art does a great job of that too.
It really does. The art is this oddly cartoonic but real portrayal. And the colors are very vibrant, which I really liked. In the inking, like the outlines of the people, it's a very thick line of their the parts of their body, the main parts, which was really cool because I feel like there's so much attention paid like to the way people appear in this book.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's awesome because everything pops in every panel, and even the way the panels are separated, there are these really thick black lines, so you really can focus in on what's going on.
Yeah, and there aren't the like sometimes there's like overlaid panels and stuff where you're not sure exactly what order they're supposed to read in. That's not the case here.
Right.
You know exactly where their eye's supposed to go.
Exactly. Like it does a really good job of guiding you through the pages, despite the odd panel choices. And So he goes to this family, and like he's obviously like a piece of shit lawyer trying to like make something off of them, and this daughter that hasn't spoken in her entire life, like basically like calls him the devil, like has like an exorcist type moment.
Yeah.
And the protagonist doesn't really seem that affected by it. He's drawn with like sweat beads, but I don't know if that's because he's in a trailer,
hot,
or
shitty
he's
trailer.
nervous. I don't know. And then like he goes on, and like some homeless person yells at him, like in the same vein that the daughter yells at him, and he kind of ignores it and moves along. And then we find out like he's divorced, and he doesn't pay attention to his son.
That part actually did remind me of Hook, because he sent somebody else to the baseball game in his place.
Yeah. He sent like his girlfriend or assistant or whomever to, to sit in his car to make it seem like he was at this kid's baseball game. And then as it moves along, like he has a giant blister on his arm, and he pops it, and it bleeds everywhere, and it's really gross. And like he doesn't really pay much attention to it, and the person that he sent to the baseball game mentions it, but that's it. And then he decides he's going to go visit his son at a haunted house.
His son works at the haunted house.
Yeah, and then that's where it gets really weird.
Yeah.
He goes in the haunted house, and there's weird demons and people claiming they've been there, stuck there for weeks, days, years, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he gets attacked by giant babies.
Yeah.
And they're screaming at him, and they kill those two people that he met, and everything just gets really fucked up, and they basically tell him like, you're in hell and this is where you belong.
Yeah.
And it ends.
I really liked where it went. Like at the beginning, I was like, I'm not sure about this, and then I got to like, okay, this is cool.
It was really fucking dark.
Yeah. And the slightly cartoony nature of it makes whenever you have like a visceral moment even more effective. Like the naked, fat, brain dead woman at the beginning.
Yeah,
and
that was an awful thing to look at.
Yeah, and even him squeezing the blood blisters, like that was really gross. Like seeing cartoon characters do things like that it's almost like Ren and Stimpy, where when they zoom in real close, and it's like really disgusting.
I love it when they do that.
It's
shit.
so funny.
And it's like,
yeah.
yeah.
There's usually some kind of sound effect in the back.
Yeah,
like a woman screaming.
Yeah, somebody like yelling.
Yeah.
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 But I thought that the art style really was effective for this, what they're doing here. I liked it. I don't know.
Yeah, I was into it.
Yeah.
I mean, Aftershock, like, I really haven't found anything that I don't like from them.
I'm trying to think about it. I don't think there's anything I did really actively didn't like. There was a couple things where I wasn't like so that into it, but I don't think there's anything I was.
They're like
against.
To me, in my opinion, they're like the perfect version of Image. They don't put out that much, but they put out really quality stuff.
Yeah.
And when Image is clicking, like, they're putting out really good stuff, but sometimes they put out like straight garbage.
They
like,
have some serious garbage out there, like
Sun Bakery.
I was just about to say Sun Bakery.
Oh
Holy
my
shit.
god!
It's. I feel like I'm reading a 7th grader's comic book.
Yeah,
like it's seriously a 7th grader's comic book.
It's like they've gotten so big that they're like someone just like, hey, I want to do this.
They're like, okay,
oh,
sure.
okay, sure, yeah,
Here's some money.
Here you go. You can slap our imprint on it, and we get a small percentage of what you're making. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, that wasn't good at all.
No, I feel like this is a much more filtered version of Image at this point. This company.
In fact, we should do a This Is Dog Shit about it. We should let Jerry read that Sun Bakery comic and let him fucking unleash on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The title sounds terrible.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah. So anyway, would you guys read more Blood Blister, Dan?
Yeah.
J-Man?
Yeah, I mean, like, I wasn't, like, completely blown away, but it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the same way. I wasn't like crazy into it, but by the end of it, I was like, okay, I really want to know where this is going.
Mm.
Yeah. So I think I actually have to go. So we can be done here. Let's go to so that was this episode. Thanks for listening. You can find us at grownuphumans.com, at epicastnetwork.com/grownuphumans, iTunes, Stitcher, Facebook, YouTube, Grown Up Human Comic People, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram at grownuphumans. Make sure to go get so relax. Let's go around the room. Get everybody say goodbye. Dan,
Bye bye.
J-Man.
See ya.
We lost old Greg. I don't know.
I'll fill in for Greg. Bye.
I'm Jared. We're the humans. Thanks for listening, and good
Grown-up,
evening.
Human, comic, people! Grown-up, human, comic, people!
Epicast.